Vinyl community, I'm back to do a recent vinyl finds. And I have a lot of stuff to show you, so let's just jump right into it. It's gonna be a mixed bag between used reissues and new music, and started all off playing in the background Nocturma by Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds from 2003, reissued last year I think. 2 LPs, 3 sides, fantastic. And I'm actually starting to finish my Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds collection. That's kind of neat. Got a copy of Amondul 2, Fallows Day, 1969. The first record by the guys from Amondul. And this is a 80s reissue on the bass. The best track is obviously Fallows Day, the 20 minutes song that takes up the entire second side. That's how you compile a great kraut tune. Cecil Taylor and Buell Nedlinger. Thank you, Christopher, for this one. New York City R&B. With Archie Shepp, Clark Terry, Steve Lacy, Roswell Rudd, Don Cherry, and Billy Higgins. It was recorded 2 nights, January 9th and 10th, 1961. And the funny thing is, you have all the songs and the players who plays on the songs, but nowhere are Don Cherry to be found, and he's there on the record, on the bill. So I don't know if that's a misprint. They just thought that, or maybe he was in the audience. Who knew? If you have any information, I would like to hear it. Great playing and cool session that was captured. Can't complain on that lineup. One that's been on my want list for a long time, Hopper, Dean, Tippett and Gallivan, Cruel But Fair, 1977, recorded 76 I think, on Compendium Records, the Norwegian label, really cool label. I have 2 or 3 other records on that label, one Karin Krog and Archie Shepp record. Hopper and Dean was in Soft Machine, Tippett did his thing, and Gallivan was an American drummer. Really good. Free jazz. Listen to Square Enough Fire, the first track on the B-side, if you want to sample it. I was hoping for maybe a little bit more proggy. It's more like a fierce free jazz record. But still really good. Happy to have it now. The only Zappa that I was lacking in my collection, Lumpy Gravy, and now I have everything Zappa from 1966 to 87, and this is an 80s reissue on Verve. And this is definitely not my favorite Zappa record. It's mediocre at best, in my opinion. Just quirky, experimental, kind of edited Zappa record. So yeah, but it's cool to have almost his entire catalog for like 3 decades. Masea and All the King's Men doing their own thing on House of the Fox record. Released 2014 and originally released and expensive as shit from 1970. Funky, soulful, very groovy. The next one has a story behind it. On top of my want list, and actually like a holy grail, is the UK first press of MacDonald and Giles. I've had it for so long on my want list. So I actually sold some rare records just to afford it. And one day a seller was selling it for €45 in VG Plus condition, which is a great price. It's like half price you have to pay otherwise. So I jumped on it. So here you go, MacDonald and Giles. First UK press on the fantastic and beautiful Pink Island, the one that I wanted. But then when I got it, I started to read on the label, and there's text here, and there shouldn't be text there. So I did research and found out that this is the second UK press. There were only 2 presses with the Pink Island label, the first and the second UK press. So this is a second press, and I was furious. So I contacted the seller from the UK, and he apologized and asked me how I wanted to do, and I said that I wanted my money back, and we just made a deal. I got my money back, the 45 euro, and he kept what I paid in shipping, 11 euro. So now I have a second UK press for 11 euro. Can't complain on that, really. He was nice, we cut a deal. Yeah, honest mistake maybe on his side, and it turned out good for both. Climate of Hunter, 1983, Scott Walker. There's one track that is really good on this, otherwise it's just a so-so record. But I got it original in mint condition for like 7 euro, something like that. And everything Scott Walker is at least interesting. I love Scott Walker 4. This is somewhere between what was to come, and maybe a little later we'll talk more about that. Unconditionally Guaranteed by Captain Beefheart, 1974, and this is Norwegian first press, or Scandinavian first press. This is not my favorite Captain Beefheart record. I haven't even put it in a plastic sleeve yet, but maybe it's gonna grow on me. I'll put it amongst the other Captain Beefheart records and see if in a year or two I'll take a look at it again, find something I like. Hand Cannot Erase, 2015 by Steve Wilson, masterpiece of a record. There's maybe 1 or 2 songs that is just very good. The rest is fantastic. It's awesome. I can't imagine that any other release was better in 2015, but I can't remember which ones that was released that year. Just a masterpiece of a record. Really, really good. And bought this at the same time for like 10 euros a piece. Cover versions, a project of his. He released singles where the A-side was a cover and the B-side was an original song over a time period of like 10 years. Compiled it all in one compilation record. Sample of this, check out The Day Before You Came, the ABBA cover that he does. Very, very good. Very good. An online store here in Sweden had a sale. Everything like 9.99 euro. So I bought Singles soundtrack released this year, double LP of this classic soundtrack released 1992. State of Love and Trust, Wood, Breathe, Birth Ritual, Waiting for Somebody, May This Be Love by Jimi Hendrix. Classic if you're a grunge fan. And also 9 euro, Tori Amos, Little Earthquakes. Winter is my favorite song by her, and that's a fantastic song. Really, really good record. Tori Amos. Sounds terrific too. Another one, 9 euro. R.E.M. Unplugged 2001, released 2014. Later stuff with R.E.M. That I like and listen to. At My Most Beautiful, Day Sleeper, Losing My Religion. Imitation of Life. Really good. Great performance, good sound quality, and everything in between. Faith No More. Album of the year 1997 or 8. They released this and reissued it on Rhino Records in 2016. First LP is the record, and second LP is just bonus tracks and live material and outtakes and stuff like that. Really good for a Faith No More head like me. Not Faith No More's best record, but everything that Faith No More releases is awesome. Anders in Stockholm has a record label called Signal and Sounds, and he has released this Wilhelm Romanders Initiative for Allt åt alla, everything for everyone. Haven't listened to this yet, so I can't amateurishly review it. It's still Blake sleeve sealed, as you can see there. So music-wise, I can't say anything about it. But his latest release I listened to, Se och hör, Se mig, hör mig, känn mig. Limited to 300 copies on Signal and Sound, with the incredible saxophone player Anna Högberg and guest Mattias Ståhl on vibraphone. This is maybe the release of the year this far. I love this record. It's fantastic. If you're a jazz fan, don't hesitate. This is great, and the recording quality and pressing quality of this is spectacular. 300 copies, get it while you can. And Anna Högberg, the saxophonist, is one of those names here in Sweden that if you read anything jazz related these days, her name comes up. So just because of that, I think that the record will sell out pretty quickly, because she's on fire and she plays fantastically. Christopher, once again, thank you so much for the VCLT. I listened to Dexter Gordon live at the Amsterdam Paradiso, live from Amsterdam 1969. Now, I'm not a huge Dexter Gordon fan. I respect his way of playing, but it's not my preferred saxophone sound. I mean, he's probably awesome at playing, but the songs I've heard with Dexter Gordon and records I've heard doesn't really move me. But the interesting thing with this live record is that Han Benning is playing drums. And listening to Han Benning, who I've only heard on free jazz records like Machine Gun by Brötzmann, listening to this more mellow, just ordinary bop and hard bop style of sound, it's cool to hear Han Benning in that milieu. And another one, fantastic, also €9 in the sale on the online shop, is Fire Orchestra Ritual. And this is going to be my favorite Fire Orchestra record. It's just so damn good. And if you want to, this is almost like I imagine seeing the cover of Bitches Brew back in 1971. I mean, with all those names of young musicians, and it's the same thing here. If you read the lineup on this one, this is the who's who of Swedish jazz musicians. Everyone here is a name. Anna Högberg on saxophone again. You have Miriam Valentin on vocals, Jonas Kullhammar, Per Texas Johansson. You have Andreas Bertling, Johan Bertling, Anders Werlin. That's the ones that I met. Rasmussen. Mats Gustafsson is on this also. No, but really good, fantastic jazz record. Check it out, and it's said to be the more accessible of easy to access kind of free jazz records by Fire Orchestra, and maybe I agree. The Year of the Behearer by Drew Redman, also a VCLT from Christopher. Furious free jazz, really good, blows your mind. And recorded in the 70s, but released now is Hitchhiker by Neil Young. I had to jump on this one. Okay record by Neil Young. I understand that some of the stuff was just demos to play for his band and stuff like that, but hearing Pocahontas and Powderfinger with just the acoustic guitar is really cool. I think that the song Hitchhiker was better on Lanois than on this one. Human Highway, really good. So recommended for die-hard Neil Young fans, but not if you like have two records and want to explore more. Okay, I can't pronounce the name on this, but I'll try. Arsachel, something like that. And I'm really sad that I bought this record. Not because of the music, because the music is fantastic. Psych, prog, little jazzy, great musicians with Steve Hillage and Dave Stewart on this. Yeah, the music is great, but Klimt Records, my god, everything is wrong with the pressing. It's noisy, it's ugly, white vinyl. Sounds crazy. I mean, the MP3 or listening to it on your laptop speakers from YouTube sounds better than this pressing. It's a disaster. So sad. I hope that they reissue this someday the way it should sound. And I got in a trade, I got this for free in a local store. Guitar vocal by Richard Thompson, a collection of unreleased and rare material from 67 to 76. Richard Thompson, Fairport Convention with Linda Thompson. Material from the earliest period. Fairport Convention with Linda, and as a solo artist, I don't know. Yeah, for diehard fans of Richard Thompson, some of the songs has good vocals and badass guitar playing by the guy, but I mean, get the studio material first. It's nothing to really write home about. And a record that blew my mind, and I'm late on this, I know, but Bish Bosh by Scott Walker. What a record. I mean, this is just out of this world kind of music. It's like music from the darkest, deepest mind of a serial killer. And I listened to this, I laid down, listened to this on my sofa, and at one time it was like so haunting that I almost got anxiety, and I think into the third side I fell asleep. So it's just such a weird record. I listened to it twice, and it's not something that you play in the background when you're cooking, or you have to really sit down and digest the thing, but really good and interesting, to say at least. And from the same seller, and I bought that for like €10, or I bought them for like €10 each, is Scott Walker and Son O, which is more of the same. It really is a Scott Walker record, and it's awesome that Son O decided to play on it, but it's definitely a Scott Walker record, not a Son O record. More of the same thing. Really interesting, super cool, and the guitars are just crunching away. It's really good. So it's gonna be awesome to see what Scott Walker is gonna do in the future. The format of this is, it's a little bit too big on each side, so it doesn't fit in an ordinary plastic sleeve. So I have to have it outside a sleeve in the collection, but what do you do? So that's it. Long ass video, many records. Comment if you have anything to say or have any questions, and I'll see you soon.